SQL Server has gone through a lot of changes lately, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to download the latest version of Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is go to this website. I'm going to leave this link in the description below for you, so you don't have to stress yourself. Okay, so don't worry about that. Then once you're here, you want to download the Express version. But if you're a developer and you're used to using advanced versions, then be sure to download any of these as well, no problem. But I'm going to go with this anyway. And as you can see, it's finished downloading. So I'm going to just open the file on my computer, and I'm going to click yes, of course. And from here, we're going to go with the basics version. Okay, as simple as that. Then I'm going to click accept. And now you can, decide to choose a preferred folder on your computer to download the SQL Server. But I'm just going to go with the default on my program files. That's okay. Then I'm going to click install. And this process is going to take about 5 minutes. Okay, it's going to take about 5 minutes. So sit tight, get yourself a cup of coffee, and we'll be right back. It's now finished downloading. Okay, and from here, what we want to do is just click on install SQL Server Management System. Okay, and then it's going to go to a different website. Okay, and again, I'm going to leave this link in the description below as well for you to use. So from here, when you get here, just click on download SQL Server Management Studio 22 installer. Okay, because that is the latest version. And now I'm going to open my file, and I'm going to click yes, continue. And this is going to take, this process is going. I'm going to make sure you click all these options here. No matter what you want to use SQL Server for, just make sure you have all these option clicks, in my opinion. And then from here, you get to choose, do you want to install while downloading or download all and then install? I prefer to go download all and then install, but it's up to you. Then I'm going to click install. And what this is going to do is in the background, it's actually downloading more software tools than just SQL Server. Okay, there are tools that allow SQL Server to run in the background, about 6 to 8 of them that you actually don't see. Okay, so we'll let it run, and it should be done in about 2 minutes, and then we can just launch it. As you can see, it's now finished downloading. So the next thing we need to do is just hit launch. And as you can see by the graphics, it's a brand new SQL Server. It's a more modern SQL Server, which is it's about time, really. So yeah, let's see what we get. And like I said earlier, this new version of SQL Server has been updated to actually try to match other modern software tools and data analysis tools. And as you can see, we get to use GitHub Copilot as well, which is very, very handy, and will only make you a better data analyst or SQL developer. And from here, when you say server name, all you need to do is, if you're using this on your own private personal computer, just click local, just write local host here, or if you don't want to write local host, you can just put a dot here. It's up to you, but I normally go with localhost. And obviously, if you have a Windows computer, this is fine. Everything else is fine, really. Then I'm just gonna check Trust Server Certificates, and from here we'll just connect. And there we have it, guys. If you came here just to install SQL Server on your computer, then it's all done. But if you want to go a step further, which I would actually recommend you do, then let's actually import a file into SQL Server just to get you started using SQL Server. So I'm going to leave the link for the file I'm using again in the description below, guys. So make sure you check it out. So from here, what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to go to File, New. I'm going to go to Query with the correct connection. Sorry, let me close that down. I'm just going to create a sample database. Yeah, let's just say sales. Yeah. Then I'm going to say use the database. Execute this. That's fine. Then I'm going to execute this as well, and that's fine. And then from here, let me refresh. Let me open this up, and as you can see, the sales database has been created. Okay, and now from here, we want to upload. We want to import a file. So I'm going to go to Task, Import Flat File. Next, Browse. This is the file I want to upload. Again, like I said, this is the file I will leave the link for you to download if you want to also, import the data using your new SQL Server. I'm going to click open, and then I'm going to change the name on the table name to be Women Sales. Yeah. Next, and you can see this is what's in the file, the CSV file. Okay, it's about 8 columns of data, as you can see. So next, and yeah, let's go ahead and click next and just finish. But oh no, we have an error here. Let's see what it says. It says warning. Let's see what it says. Up to 16 cells of data may have been dropped from the skill column, which is strange, but no problem, guys. What we need to do, I'll tell you right now. It's very easy. If you're someone that's trying to be a data analyst or a SQL developer, and you come across these issues when you're importing tables, which is very common, don't be disheartened. Don't be discouraged. You're a problem solver. Okay, what we need to do is just delete this, because we don't really want to import a table with the data dropped out. Okay, we don't want that. That's gonna imagine working with a business table. You don't want to do that. So what we need to do is we'll try it again. We'll just fix the issue. Okay, let's fix the issue. We'll go back to Task, Import Flat File. Next, Browse. Let's do it again. But now this time we'll carefully look at that SKU column. The SKU column, and see what the issue is. Let's see what the issue is. Oh, this is the SKU column. And as you can see, guys, in this column here, and obviously if you SKU stands for stock keeping unit, and as you can see, it's supposed to be, it thinks it should be integer values, but for some reason there's this values bobo. I don't know why that's there, but hey, it's there. It's the client's data. This is what we have, right? So that's why when it came to the schema section, it automatically wanted to use the int as the data type for this column. But obviously, as we've checked out now, that there are some actual text values in the column as well. That's why we got the error. You see, guys, it's important to always finding out why is this error happening. It only helps you it only will make you a better programmer and problem solver, in my opinion. So what we need to do is we'll get around that and say, let's change the data type to nvarchar with a limit of 50, and that should solve the problem. There you go, problem solved. Boom. Right, so not only have you just installed SQL Server, you've also solved a major problem when importing tables. Okay, when importing data into SQL. Okay, and now in my opinion, you're not just someone who just came to watch a video. You're now a better problem solver. And let's go a step further, guys. Okay, you might as well don't be lazy now. Let's go a step further and actually just let's see what's inside. Let's load, let's query our table. Voila. There you go, guys. You see what's inside? 8 columns of data. How many rows? 527 rows of data. And the reason why I went a step further, guys, is because I'm going to start uploading some SQL videos on my channel. Okay, I think it's about time. Okay, and I'm not the best person you can learn from, in my opinion. when it comes to SQL, I'm not the most, perfect expert using SQL for 10 years. I'm not that guy. I'm just someone who's also learning and getting better with SQL. And I have more confidence now with SQL, which is why I said I'm going to start sharing some videos on SQL. So we're going to start with this series of videos where we're going to work with this table. There's a reason why I chose this data set. Okay, we're going to work with this table, and as you can see, these errors that we came across earlier, I'm going to show you how I would resolve them. Okay, and I'm going to then make some analysis. We're going to do some data cleaning. We're going to profile the data as we're doing right now. This is actually what you're doing right now, looking at the data sets and looking at the schemas and everything. This is called the data profiling, so you can identify the issues and the errors and then get to data cleaning and so on and so forth. So yeah, guys, we'll come back. I'm going to make more videos about this, and then we'll start from here. Like I said, we'll decide what do we do with this this colon here, this Q colon that had an error earlier. What do we do in terms of this are supposed to be integer values, but for some reason they've got this weird values called bobo. Do we want to, input these values? Do we want to input them? Do we want to just remove them completely? We'll decide. And when it comes to come to the next column as well, the color column, you can see that in the rows, you can see the values, they're not consistent. Okay, data consistency is very key. We know this should be colors, but for some reason it's got B, C, D. What does that even mean? We don't know, right? But we will figure it out. What should we do with this as well? Should we recode this data and make them back into the colors that should be in there? We'll figure it out, guys. And also in the size column as well, you can see that there are some null values, and when there's a lot of null values, do we want to drop those rows out? Maybe not. Maybe we'll figure out again what to do with that. Maybe we can obviously input them as well. We'll figure it out, but every other column seems to be fine. So guys, yeah, we'll figure it out in my next few videos about SQL. It's going to be focusing on these data sets and figuring out exactly how to solve these problems, and then going on to analyzing the data and so on and so forth. So guys, if you've watched it up to this end, then I think you've learned a lot of things about SQL already, even if it's your first time downloading SQL Server. So thank you for watching, and if you like this video and you obviously want to see the next series of SQL videos that I will upload on my channel in the next few weeks of January 2026, then make sure to like this video and then subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Peace.